Hey, sixth graders, today we're going to be taking a look at order of operations. When we're taking a look at order of operations, it's what we need to do first, second, so on and so on, when we're solving a problem. The ones that we're going to be dealing with today, there's going to be some where you only have to do maybe 2 or 3 steps. Others you might have to do a little bit more. So we're going to go over a little bit of directions here, and then we'll do quite a few examples. With our order of operations, what we need to remember is PEMDAS. People think of it differently. I usually just say PEMDAS. Some people say, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Whatever works best for you to know the order that you're going to be doing your operations. The very first thing that you're going to be doing is your parentheses. You guys, most of the time you're going to be seeing parentheses. You also might see brackets. These brackets are used as a second set of parentheses. So if you see those brackets, there's also going to be parentheses inside of those. Do parentheses first and then your brackets. Next is your exponents. Remember our exponents, we have our base number with our exponent. That means 3 times 3. Okay, it means that you're multiplying 3 together 2 times, not 3 times 2. It's 3 times 3, which would be 9. Next up, these ones go together, our multiplication and our division. When we have our multiplication and division, those two work together, working from left to right, just like you'd read a story. Once we have our multiplication and division done, then we move on to our last one, which is addition and subtraction. Same thing, those ones work together from left to right. Sound all right? So we're going to go through a couple examples here. These may or may not be directly from your worksheet. Hint, they are weird. All right, let's take a look at this one. 36 divided by 6 plus 6. Now, if it helps you to even put on that reminder, that PEMDAS or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, it's helpful to go through those. Now, for these ones, I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can show your work. However, if you can look at this in your head, you don't necessarily need to show a lot of work. Once we get to some of the more difficult ones with more operations, you might want to write a couple things down. But for these ones, we're going to think, okay, no parentheses, no exponents. Next, we have our multiplication division. There we have a division problem. So we're going to do our 36 divided by 6, which is 6. And then we have our addition. So we have our 6 plus 6. Our answer is going to be 12. Okay? So if you want to show this, great. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Now, next problem, I'm going to show you guys what simply adding some parentheses will do to change your answer. So say we had 36 divided by 6 plus 6. Now here, we have to do our parentheses first. So we need to do our 6 plus 6, which is 12. Then we can do our division, 36 divided by 12, and that's going to equal 3. So simply adding those parentheses can really change that number. So even though it has those same numbers, make sure that you're taking a look at those signs that you're going through. All right, next example. So in parentheses, we have 5 squared plus 7, and parentheses, divided by 4. Now, we need to take care of our parentheses first, but then within our parentheses, we also need to take a look at our PEMDAS again. So here, we need to take care of our exponents first before our addition. 5 squared is the same thing as 5 times 5, which is 25. If we add that to 7, we end up getting 32. So our parentheses is 32, but then we need to divide our 4. Here, our answer is going to equal 8. Parentheses, exponents first, finish the rest of the parentheses, and then we do our division. All right, let's do another one here. 2 to the third plus 12 divided by 4. Following our over operations, there's no parentheses. Our next one is exponents, 2 to the third. You guys, that means 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So now we have 8 plus 12 divided by 4. Our next thing we need to take care of if we're following down our order is our division. So here, we're going to do our 12 divided by 4, which is 3. Now what's left over? We have our 8 plus 3, which equals 11. Now, if it helps you to write this down as you go, that's perfectly fine. I've had some people that like will kind of have arrows going down to show that. Sometimes they just cross that off and put a 3 in that place. Whatever helps for you and your organization. So you can really, whatever works for you, just making sure that you're following those order of operations. All right, we're going to do one last one here. 9 plus 3 times 5 minus 4. Paying attention to our signs. No parentheses, no exponent. Our next one is our multiplication. We need to multiply our 3 times 5, which is 15. Now we have the rest of our problem. 9 plus 15 minus 4. We're going to work from left to right here, and our answer is going to be 20. All right. Now, with your order of operations sheet for your worksheet, there's going to be a total of 15 problems. Those 15 problems, you're just going to be answering those ones. It's just a one number answer. So your work does not need to be shown unless that helps you. The worksheet that's handing it to me, as long as you have your answer on there, your number, you'll be good to go. There's also an extra credit problem, number 16. That one is dealing with some decimals. So you have a little bit more complex math there. When you're doing your multiplication or division, most of the stuff is stuff that is basic facts that you should know. The only one that you would need to do a little bit more than your basic facts is number 16. And in that case, if you want to use a calculator to do that multiplication with decimals, I'm perfectly fine with that. But keep in mind that with the calculators, we're not just plugging them in right away. We do need to go through those different order operations as you're going through these ones. Yeah, so worksheet will be at Google Classrooms, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.